Welcome to Fairy Tales English Journey, where we master B1 to B2 English through the magic of stories.
Welcome to Fairy Tales English Journey. Today we explore a very old and mysterious story called The Juniper Tree. Have you ever wondered what happens when a dark secret is hidden away? This tale is full of magic and justice. Listen closely as we uncover a story of revenge and a beautiful rebirth. Learning English through fairy tales is a wonderful way to improve your vocabulary. The Juniper Tree teaches us powerful words about nature and emotions. This story comes from a long time ago in a quiet village. It reminds us that truth always finds a way to shine brightly. Let us begin our magical journey together. Long ago, a loving husband and his good wife lived in a beautiful house. They had everything they needed, but they wanted a child very much. Outside their home grew a magnificent juniper tree. In the winter, the wife stood under the tree peeling an apple. She wished for a child as red as blood. She wished for a child as white as snow and as red as blood. Soon her wish came true. She had a beautiful baby boy. He had skin as white as snow and cheeks as red as blood. The mother was so happy, but she soon grew very sick. She passed away, leaving them alone. The father was very sad and cried for his beautiful wife. He buried her under the magical juniper tree just as she had asked. Time passed and the father decided to marry again. His new wife was a very proud and selfish woman. She only cared about her own happiness and her own future. The new wife and the father soon had a daughter together. Her name was Marlinchen. The stepmother loved Marlinchen very much, but she did not love the little boy. She looked at him with anger and jealousy in her heart. She wanted all the family wealth to go only to her precious daughter Marlinchen. Every day the wicked stepmother treated the little boy very badly. She pushed him around and spoke cruel words to him. The poor boy was always frightened when she was near. He had no peace in his own home. He missed his real mother and often sat alone under the large green juniper tree. Marlinchen was a sweet and gentle girl. She loved her older brother very much and often tried to comfort him. They played together in the garden when the stepmother was not looking. Marlinchen shared her toys and her smiles. She was the only light in the little boy and his very sad daily life. One afternoon, the stepmother decided she could no longer stand the boy. She wanted him gone forever. She went to a heavy wooden chest in her room. This chest held sweet apples. She called the boy into the room with a tricky smile. She asked him if he would like a nice red apple. The little boy was hungry and walked toward the heavy chest. He looked inside to find a sweet apple. Suddenly, the wicked stepmother cast a terrible dark spell. The magic trapped the boy inside the chest forever. He disappeared completely, leaving behind only a small pile of smooth, white stones on the cold floor. The stepmother quickly hid the white stones in a small cloth. She felt very proud of her wicked trick. When the father came home from his work, she told a terrible lie. She said the little boy had run away to a far-off town. She said he would never come back to them. The father was heartbroken to hear this terrible news. He searched everywhere for his beloved son but could not find him. He sat down and cried bitter tears. Marlinchen knew her mother had done something bad. She found the hidden cloth with the smooth white stones. She cried because she missed her dear brother. Marlinchen took the small cloth filled with white stones into the garden. Her tears fell like rain upon the ground. She walked slowly to the beautiful juniper tree. She gently placed the stones beneath its green branches. She sat there and cried until her eyes were red and tired. The tree seemed to listen. Suddenly, the branches of the juniper tree began to move. A strange and magical mist gathered around the white stones. The branches danced in the wind even though the air was completely still. A bright light shone from the roots of the tree. The magic of the tree was waking up to bring true justice. From the bright light, a magnificent bird flew up into the sky. Its feathers were bright and shiny like pure gold and rich red velvet. The beautiful bird sang a song that was so sweet and clear. The white stones were gone completely. The spirit of the little boy was now alive in the bird. The magical bird flew away from the garden and into the town. It landed on the roof of a busy golden jewelry shop. The bird began to sing a beautiful and haunting song. The song told the story of the wicked stepmother and the lost boy. The jeweler stopped his work to listen closely. The song was so beautiful that the jeweler came outside. He asked the bird to sing the amazing song one more time. The bird looked down and asked for a reward. The bird said it would sing again if the jeweler gave it a thick gold chain. The jeweler gladly agreed to this trade. The jeweler tossed the shiny gold chain up to the roof. The bird caught the chain in its strong beak. Then the bird sang the beautiful song once again. The music filled the streets and made everyone stop and smile. After the song finished, the bird flew away to find its next important destination. Next, the bird flew to the shop of a busy shoemaker. It landed softly on the wooden roof and began to sing its special song. The shoemaker dropped his tools and ran outside to listen. He called his wife and children to hear the wonderful music. They all stood perfectly still in total amazement. The shoemaker begged the bird to sing the song again. The bird asked for a pair of beautiful red shoes in exchange. The shoemaker quickly went inside and brought out his finest red leather shoes. He threw them up to the waiting bird. The bird caught the shoes carefully in its sharp little claws. The bird sang the magical song one more time for the shoemaker and his family. The sweet melody warmed their hearts and brought tears to their eyes. With the gold chain in its beak and the red shoes in its claws, the bird flew away. It had one final stop to make in town. The bird flew to a large stone mill where 20 men were working hard. The millstone was huge and very heavy. The bird sat on a tall branch and began to sing. The men stopped their heavy work one by one. They looked up at the beautiful bird and listened to the sad, lovely song. The workers were amazed by the magical voice. They asked the bird to repeat the wonderful song. The bird agreed, but asked for the heavy millstone as a reward. The 20 men pushed and pulled with all their strength. They finally lifted the giant stone and offered it to the beautiful singing magical bird. The bird flew down and put its neck right through the hole in the heavy millstone. It carried the stone as easily as a small feather. The bird sang the song again, filling the workers with great joy. Then the bird flew high into the clouds, heading straight back to its old family home. Back at the house, the father, the stepmother, and Marlinchen were sitting at the dinner table. The father felt a sudden warmth in his heart. He said he felt as if an old friend was coming to visit. The stepmother felt a cold chill run down her back. She felt very afraid and nervous. Marlinchen sat quietly and wiped a tear from her eye. Suddenly, they heard a beautiful song coming from the garden. The father stood up with a big smile. He ran outside to see who was singing such a lovely melody. The stepmother stayed inside trembling with fear. She knew the song was about her. The father walked into the garden and looked up at the juniper tree. The magnificent bird was sitting on a high branch. The bird dropped the shiny gold chain right around the neck of the father. It fit perfectly and looked very beautiful. The father was amazed by this wonderful and totally unexpected magic gift. The father went back inside and showed them the gold chain. He said the beautiful bird was a wonderful blessing. Marlinchen felt a spark of hope in her heart. She ran outside to see the magical bird for herself. She stood under the juniper tree and looked up with a very bright, happy smile. The bird looked down at sweet Marlinchen. It dropped the beautiful red shoes right at her feet. Marlinchen put the shoes on and they fit perfectly. She felt so happy and light that she began to dance around the garden. She laughed out loud for the first time since her dear brother had disappeared. Marlinchen ran back inside to show her mother and father the beautiful red shoes. The stepmother was now shaking with absolute terror. The house felt very hot to her like a burning fire. She decided she must go outside to escape the terrible feeling. She slowly walked out the door toward the juniper tree. As the wicked stepmother stepped under the branches, the bird flew down. It dropped the heavy millstone directly over her. But the stone did not crush her. Instead, it trapped her inside a magical prison of solid rock. She was banished forever for her cruel actions. The garden was finally safe from her dark magic. A sudden bright flash of light surrounded the heavy millstone. Smoke and mist rose up into the sky. The magical bird flew down into the center of the bright light. The feathers turned into a glowing magical fire. The father and Marlinchen watched in total wonder as the magic continued to change the garden. When the bright light finally faded away, the bird was completely gone. In its place stood the little boy. He was alive and well. His skin was as white as snow, and his cheeks were as red as blood. The dark spell was finally broken. The family was reunited under the beautiful juniper tree. The father ran forward and hugged his dear son tightly. Marlinchen joined them, crying tears of absolute joy. They were a happy family once again. The wicked stepmother was gone forever, and they never had to fear her again. The magic of the juniper tree had saved the boy and brought true justice home. They walked back into their home together, holding hands. The house felt warm and full of love. They sat down at the table and shared a wonderful meal. They laughed and told stories late into the night. The boy told them about his amazing journey as a magnificent singing bird in the blue sky. This story of the juniper tree is a classic fairy tale about truth and justice. It teaches us that wicked actions will always be discovered. The stepmother tried to hide her cruel magic, but the universe found a way to reveal the truth. Nature itself stepped in to protect the innocent and punish the guilty. The beautiful singing bird represents the pure spirit of the little boy. Even when he was trapped by dark magic, his spirit remained strong and free. The bird used its beautiful voice to gather the tools needed for justice. This shows us that art and beauty can be very powerful weapons against dark evil forces. The gifts the bird collected are also very important symbols. The gold chain represents honor and love for the grieving father. The red shoes represent joy and freedom for the sweet sister Marlinchen. The heavy millstone represents the weight of guilt and the final punishment for the wicked stepmother. Each gift had a special purpose. The juniper tree itself is a symbol of life and protection. It watched over the family through all their happy and sad times. The mother was buried under it, and the boy was reborn from it. Trees in fairy tales often hold deep ancient magic. They connect the world of the living to the magical spirit world. Learning English with this fairy tale helps us discover new and expressive words. Words like magnificent and justice make our language much richer. When you practice reading these stories, you learn how to describe strong feelings. You also learn how to build better sentences. Fairy tales are perfect tools for improving your English skills every day. Notice how the story uses colors to create strong pictures in our minds. White as snow and red as blood are classic descriptions. These simple phrases are very powerful and easy to remember. Using color words can make your English speaking much more interesting. Try using these color descriptions when you practice speaking with your friends. The emotions in this story are also very clear and easy to understand. We see jealousy and fear in the wicked stepmother. We see deep sadness and great joy in the father and the sister. Learning the English words for these emotions is very important. It helps you express your own feelings much more clearly. Repetition is another great way to learn a new language. The bird sings the same song to the jeweler, the shoemaker, and the mill workers. This repetition helps you remember the vocabulary. When you hear the same words again and again, your brain saves them. This is why fairy tales are so good for learning. The theme of rebirth is very common in many old English stories. Rebirth means starting again or coming back to life. The boy is reborn from the magical mist and the white stones. This teaches us about hope and second chances. It tells us that even after very dark times, a bright new morning will come. Justice is another very important word in our story today. Justice means fairness and making sure bad people are stopped. The heavy stone brought justice to the wicked stepmother. In English, we often say that justice is served. This means the right thing has finally happened and the good people are safe and very happy. We hope you enjoyed this magical journey into the world of fairy tales. The story of the juniper tree is both dark and very beautiful. It reminds us to always be kind to others. It also shows that the truth can never be hidden forever. Goodness and love will always win in the very end. Practicing English with these stories should be fun and very exciting. Try to read the story aloud to practice your pronunciation. Listen to the way the words flow together like a beautiful song. The more you practice, the better your English will become. Never be afraid to make mistakes while you are learning new words. If you want to remember the new vocabulary, write the words down. Keep a small notebook for all your favorite fairy tale words. You can write down words like magnificent and justice and rebirth. Review your notebook every week to keep the words fresh in your mind. This is a great habit for all language learners. Thank you for watching this video on Fairy Tales English Journey. We love sharing these classic stories with you. Please leave a comment below and tell us your favorite part of the story. Did you like the singing bird or the magical tree? We always enjoy reading your wonderful comments and answering your language questions. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We have many more amazing fairy tales and English lessons coming soon. Share this video with your friends who also want to learn English. Keep practicing and keep believing in magic. We will see you next time for another wonderful English story adventure.
Top 10 Best Sentences to Learn English. Number 1. Have you ever wondered what happens when a dark secret is hidden away? Explanation. This sentence uses the common conversational opening, "Have you ever wondered?" which is an excellent way to engage an audience or start a deep discussion. Number 2. It reminds us that truth always finds a way to shine brightly. Explanation. This is a metaphorical expression meaning that the truth cannot be concealed forever. The phrase, "finds a way," is a useful idiom for achieving a result despite obstacles. Number 3. She wished for a child as white as snow and as red as blood. Explanation. This sentence demonstrates the as plus adjective plus as structure, which is a fundamental way to create vivid comparisons and similes in English. Number 4. She only cared about her own happiness and her own future. Explanation. A great example of how to describe a character's motivations or personality traits using the restrictive adverb only to emphasize selfishness. Number 5. The music filled the streets and made everyone stop and smile. Explanation. This sentence uses sensory language to describe an atmosphere. It shows the cause and effect relationship between an event, music, and people's reactions. Number 6. The bird carried the stone as easily as a small feather. Explanation. This simile highlights a strong contrast between two objects, a heavy stone and a light feather, to emphasize the magical strength of the bird. Number 7. The stepmother felt a cold chill run down her back. Explanation. This is a classic English idiom used to describe a sudden, intense feeling of fear, dread, or nervousness. Number 8. Nature itself stepped in to protect the innocent and punish the guilty. Explanation. This sentence uses personification by giving nature human-like actions. It also utilizes formal vocabulary like stepped in, intervened, and the innocent, guilty. Number 9. Goodness and love will always win in the very end. Explanation. A powerful thematic statement. The phrase, "in the very end," is more emphatic than just "in the end," suggesting a final, ultimate conclusion. Number 10. Listen closely as we uncover a story of revenge and a beautiful rebirth. Explanation. The phrase, "listen closely," is a strong imperative for grabbing attention, while uncover is a sophisticated verb choice for revealing a mystery or story.